October 1st, 2015. Russian airstrike in Syria targeted CIA-backed rebels, U.S. officials say. Putin wants to humiliate Obama with airstrikes in Syria. Trump would now give Syrian refugees the boot. Hillary Clinton camp is making moves to check Joe Biden. Clinton camp senses moment to expose Benghazi committee. House Republicans repudiate McCarthy's comment on Benghazi probe. Clinton's email woes deepen as classified messages pile up. Investigation says Secret Service tried to discredit U.S. lawmaker. Secret Service official wanted to embarrass congressman. Kentucky governor says Kim Davis's statements show absurdity. October 2nd, 2015. Oregon shooting on college campus leaves 10 dead. Oregon shooter said to have singled out Christians for killing in horrific act of cowardice. Chris Harper Mercer, Oregon gunman, is recalled as a recluse close to his mother. Chris Mintz was shot as he charged the Umpqua Community College shooter in Oregon. Oregon shooting, heroic veteran Chris Mintz was shot 7 times. Obama says mass shootings are something we should politicize. The politics of mass shootings. U.S. job growth cools in last 2 months, raising doubts on economy. Rubio campaign boots Bush backing tracker from Iowa event. October 3rd, 2015. Jeb Bush is criticized for saying stuff happens in reaction to shootings. Official says Oregon gunman left angry note glorifying mass killers. Death toll rises in suspected U.S. airstrikes on Afghan hospital. Lindsey Graham says Russia and Iran slapping Obama in the face. Chaffetz prepares long-shot bid for House Speaker. Vatican sacks priest after he comes out as gay. CNN exclusive. Pope met privately with gay couple. Donald Trump cancels Q&A, says Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. October 4th, 2015. Democrats find that anti-establishment isn't just a GOP theme. Joe Biden could decide presidential run in the next week. Biden backs transgender military service as U.S. considers policy. Poll says Trump still leads in Iowa and New Hampshire, but loses ground. Bush, Rubio, and Kasich eye one another in the shadow of Trump. Benghazi panel talking point proven false. Chaffetz enters speaker's race, pans McCarthy. How 7 years of Obama brought the world from kumbaya to chaos. October 5th, 2015. Trans-Pacific Partnership trade deal is reached. TPP trade deal strengthens Obama's hand in Asia strategy. Bernie Sanders bashes trade agreement as disastrous. Hillary Clinton to unveil plan for major new gun restrictions. Ben Bernanke says more execs should have gone to jail for causing Great Recession. Syria is Obama's Watergate. The breakdown of the black family. Valencia woman files suit alleging she was punched by police in front of her kids. October 6, 2015. U.S. mistakenly struck Kunduz hospital, general says. U.S. sees Russia drive against CIA-backed rebels in Syria. Donald Trump vows to win. I'm not going anywhere. In First National ad, Clinton hits GOP on Benghazi. Clinton ad highlights McCarthy's statement on Benghazi. Ben Carson on gun control, Snowden, and Trump. Scandal erupts in unregulated world of fantasy sports. U.S. government deports fewest immigrants in nearly a decade. October 7th, 2015. Joe Biden, no money, weak polls, but still Clinton's toughest rival. Draft Biden to air emotional ad urging, "Run, Joe, run." Biden team calls a report on 2016 leak categorically false. Hillary's Hail Mary hoped to get past the email mess. FBI probe of Clinton email expands to second data company. Bill de Blasio met quietly with Bernie Sanders. How John Boehner could stay Speaker. Harvard's prestigious debate team loses to New York inmates. October 8, 2015. Is Vladimir Putin trying to teach the West a lesson in Syria? House conservatives spurn McCarthy and flex muscle ahead of Speaker vote. Dick Cheney to endorse Kevin McCarthy. Bloomberg Politics focus groups. What's powering Ben Carson boom? Carson says, I faced a gunman. Accused Oregon shooter discharged from Army after suicide attempt. October 9, 2015. Obama administration ends Pentagon program to train Syrian rebels. The GOP sinks deeper into chaos. Can it still function as a party? Republican says very real chance GOP will need Dems to elect Speaker. Kevin McCarthy's exit came after receiving personal threat over affair allegations. The Republican plague on government. Ben Carson defends Hitler gun control statements, calls ADL reaction total foolishness. Hillary Clinton interrupted by immigration protester over private prison donations. 4 more car makers join diesel emissions row. Refugee charity shops aid to Calais because 97% are men with no real reason to be there. Shows of strength from Trump and Putin. October 10, 2015. Turkey terror attack. Scores killed in twin Ankara blasts. Wooing Chairman Ryan. Paul Ryan remains on sidelines as House GOP looks to regroup. Conservatives cool to Ryan as Speaker. From Donald Trump, hints of a campaign exit strategy. Obama on Putin's military mission in Syria. Biden may ditch draft Biden super PAC. Hundreds of Muslims pray in Parliament Square, London. October 11, 2015. Clinton's support slides ahead of first Democratic debate. Clinton's camp says she could have a serious meltdown. Ex-staffer says Benghazi committee pursuing partisan investigation targeting Hillary Clinton. Suit over firing exposes strife within Benghazi panel. The real Obama doctrine. Back in the pack, this is not the campaign Chris Christie envisioned. Romney's path to GOP nomination eludes Jeb. Armed robbery suspect tries using Uber as getaway car, police say. October 12, 2015. South Carolina and Nevada CNN polls find Clinton far ahead. Clinton emails became the new focus of Benghazi inquiry. The wild card at the Democratic debate could be the guy no one's talking about. Bernie Sanders' Democratic debate challenge, turning down the volume. CNN expects slightly smaller ratings for Dem debate. Numbers USA president says Paul Ryan terrifying, open borders seeps out of every pore of his being. Islamic State figures killed in airstrike, Baghdadi not believed among them. Oregon school suspends 8th grader over Battlefield Cross t-shirt. The harder you look, the more cancers you'll find, but most will be harmless and will never threaten anyone's life. Black Americans would have been better off renting than buying. October 13th, 2015. Hillary donors worry all the energy is with Bernie. Draft Biden releases new TV ad to air before Democratic debate. AP exclusive. Clinton server software had hacking risk. The Republicans' Incompetence Caucus. Bernie Sanders isn't socialist enough for many socialists. Ted Cruz says the military shouldn't be a cauldron for social experiments. Dan Rather's big lie hits the big screen. Amateurs in the Oval Office. October 14th, 2015. Hillary Clinton towers over her debate rivals. Clinton crushes it. Bernie Sanders just explained why Hillary's email scandal is such a sideshow. Overnight ratings point to Democratic debate record. Donald Trump reveals who won Democratic debate. Fox News poll says Carson giving Trump a run for his money in GOP race. What the Democratic debate means for Joe Biden. I would have taken Clinton to task on emails, Bush says. As precondition for interview, campaign told me I couldn't ask Trump about policy, radio host says. Most journos failed to stand for anthem at Democratic debate. October 15th, 2015. Obama announces halt of U.S. troop withdrawal in Afghanistan. Obama expected to announce new plan to keep 5,500 troops in Afghanistan. Republican says Benghazi probe designed to go after Hillary. Ben Carson puts public campaign events on hold for 2 weeks. Ron Paul gives fiery testimony in trial of 2 indicted top aides. Guns and Moses, why more Jews are packing heat. Hastert would serve prison time under federal deal. It's time to retire the filibuster. October 16th, 2015. Clinton campaign blasts Benghazi panel for announcing Abedin testimony. Source says FBI probe of Clinton email focused on gross negligence provision. Obama's comments on Clinton emails collide with FBI inquiry. Online poll says Clinton wins debate, re-energizes core backers. Top Biden aide lays out potential 2016 platform. In campaign money race, Democrats vastly outpacing Republicans. Insurrection erupts at the Democratic National Committee. Leaked docs detail expansive drone campaign. Joseph's tomb site catches fire in spate of Palestinian-Israeli violence. So long, Bobby Jindal? October 17th, 2015. Hungary seals border with Croatia in migrant crackdown. Trump blames George W. Bush for 9/11. Say what you want, the World Trade Center came down during his time. Donald Trump on Yellen, Clinton, Sanders, and taxes. Biden would run optimistic campaign. The Biden eclipse and the Trump plateau. Marco Rubio's wake-up call. The paranoid supremacist roots of the stabbing intifada. October 18th, 2015. Will Hillary Clinton be pilloried by the Benghazi Committee? Smoking gun emails reveal Blair's deal in blood with George Bush over Iraq War was forged a year before the invasion had even started. Carson says Bush certainly not responsible for 9/11. Cruz says Trump's campaign helping mine. President Mitt Romney lectures frontrunner Donald Trump on how Republicans win elections. What is a democratic socialist? Bernie Sanders tries to redefine the name. Americans are more afraid of robots than death. October 19th, 2015. Hillary Clinton looks to turn Benghazi hearing into next boost. Benghazi chairman to GOP colleagues, shut up. Audits found State Department cybersecurity deteriorated under Clinton. Sanders planning major speech on democratic socialism, he tells Iowa supporters. Democrats are in denial. Their party is actually in deep trouble. The problems with progressives. Stoner high school student says he hacked the CIA. Southwest Airlines flight turns back to LAX amid violence on board. Winter poses new danger for migrants. Big banks to America's firms. We don't want your cash. October 20th, 2015. Justin Trudeau elected new Canadian Prime Minister as Liberals return to power. Hillary Clinton widens lead in primary race, poll shows. Joe Biden prompts indecision frenzy. Gowdy's pleas to keep Benghazi probe above politics have gone unheeded. Poll says Trump and Carson dominate GOP field as Fiorina falters. Over a year before 9/11, Trump wrote of terror threat with remarkable clarity. Dems joined Trump's 9/11 bashing of Jeb Bush. Obama meets with Texas teen clockmaker at astronomy night. The math on staying below 2 degrees Celsius of global warming looks increasingly brutal. October 21st, 2015. Assad makes unannounced trip to Moscow to discuss Syria with Putin. Iran's Khamenei conditionally approves nuclear deal with powers. Trump says revoke passports for those who go to fight for ISIS, would look at closing certain mosques. Donald Trump is doing America a service. Trump leads in expectations, shows strength on attributes, says poll. Clock kid Ahmad Mohammed and his family will move to Qatar. Joe Biden changes story on Osama bin Laden raid. Paul Ryan's conditions for House Speaker bid meet early resistance. Congress can still make a deal on Iran. October 22nd, 2015. One U.S. soldier killed in Iraq during rescue of more than 70 ISIS hostages. U.S. and Kurdish commandos said to raid ISIS prison in North Iraq. U.S. and allies demand UN action after Iran missile test. Supermajority of House Freedom Caucus to back Paul Ryan's speaker bid. Hardline Republicans to Paul Ryan. Family time isn't in the job description for speaker. How Clinton boxed out Biden. Donald Trump still loved by Republicans who called him divisive and sometimes an idiot. Subordinate seduced me, then got me fired, says executive. Woman allegedly left neighbors, the children's look delicious, notes. Why aren't there more black scientists? October 23rd, 2015. Benghazi panel engages Clinton in tense session. Conservative pundits were not impressed with the GOP's disastrous Benghazi hearing. Trey Gowdy says his 11-hour Benghazi hearing didn't reveal anything new. Lincoln Chafee drops out of Democratic primary race. Obama vetoes $612 billion defense bill in rebuke to GOP. Papua New Guinea students share video appearing to show women tortured for witchcraft. October 24th, 2015. Master Sergeant Joshua Wheeler, U.S. Commando killed in ISIS raid, ran to gunfight. Comey says feds have roughly 900 domestic probes about Islamic State operatives. FBI chief links scrutiny of police with rise in violent crime. Obama fuels the flames of the anti-cop movement. Jeb Bush hunkers down with family to assess his candidacy. First on CNN, DOJ closes IRS investigation with no charges. State can't verify Clinton email claim made at Benghazi hearing. High school bans pro-Trump clothing for supposed racist and offensive theme. GOP is like Grumpy Cat, Obama says. October 25th, 2015. Republicans prefer an outsider candidate, AP poll finds. Donald Trump seeks a sharp contrast with Ben Carson's Seventh-day Adventist faith. Donald Trump won't apologize to Ben Carson over religion comments. Ben Carson says, "I would love to see abortion law overturned." Carson says, "I'm not super low energy, just soft-spoken." Jeb Bush says he's making campaign adjustment. In shadow of campaign shakeup, Bush tears into Trump. Trump mocks Jeb, and Rubio on their home turf in Florida. Bush at 91, irritated and invigorated by 16 race. Tony Blair makes qualified apology for Iraq war ahead of Chillicothe report. October 26, 2015. The GOP's dysfunction all started with Sarah Palin. The most likely next president is Hillary Clinton. More see mass shootings as a mental health issue. Gun lobby pushes to loosen restrictions on silencers. Police union calls for Tarantino boycott after anti-cop rally. No joke. Guatemalan comedian wins presidency in landslide. Trump says my dad gave me a small loan of $1 million. Russian ships near data cables are too close for U.S. comfort. This man failed a paternity test due to his vanished twins' DNA. Death to capitalism? Visitors to Marx's grave balk at fee. October 27, 2015. 3 sentences that explain just how clueless establishment Republicans are about 2016. Jeb says brother's response to 9/11 was awe-inspiring. Conservatives already trashing new budget deal. FBI warns of anarchist plot to ambush cops on Halloween. Enough of this PC nonsense. James Bond can't be gay or female any more than I can play Wonder Woman or Lassie. Shifting the blue line. Why a black woman is joining LAPD. Processed meats rank alongside smoking as cancer causes. October 28, 2015. Obama wins on budget deal as John Boehner cleans out the barn. Trey Gowdy will nominate Paul Ryan for Speaker. Dennis Hastert pleads guilty, could face 6 months. Rand Paul will filibuster debt ceiling bill. Carson says I won't raise the debt ceiling as president. Sheriff to announce South Carolina Deputy Ben Fields to be fired. The Sanders Brain Trust plan to beat Hillary Clinton. Senate vote nears on controversial cybersecurity bill as opposition mounts. BuzzFeed to withdraw from South by Southwest over canceled gaming panels. The left's war on comment sections. October 29, 2015. Paul Ryan elected Speaker. The best lines and zingers from the 3rd Republican debate. Hillary Clinton won the 3rd GOP debate. Here's why. Webster encouraging House Republicans to not vote for him for Speaker. October 30th, 2015. Obama seeks to intensify operations in Syria with special ops troops. Bill to avoid default on U.S. debt advances in Senate vote. Speaker Paul Ryan dodges hug from Nancy Pelosi. Sanders promises to lead fight against Islamophobia. Hillary Clinton vows to fight profiling as black protesters chant. There's no evidence in Clinton White House documents for Clinton's story on anti-gay law. Alphabet's Google to fold Chrome operating system into Android. October 31st, 2015. Black Lives Matter protesters interrupt Hillary rally. More Hillary Clinton emails released. One describes weirdest exchange ever. In heroin crisis, white families seek gentler war on drugs. Former congressman says, I'm quitting GOP. Republican insiders shine. The Commerce Department's GDP numbers don't make any sense.